focus back on the economy now. About 30 million Americans filed for unemployment benefits over the past 6 weeks. These are people who were working just 6 weeks ago. Now, about 30 million people unemployed. According to the Department of Labor, 3.8 million people filed for jobless claims just last week. Though the number of claims continues to slide, Morgan Stanley estimates that the economy is heading towards an unemployment rate of somewhere between 16.4% in May. Maybe even higher than that. That would be the highest since the Great Depression. Here are today's opening numbers for the stock market. Despite the drop, the Dow is up 12% for the month of April. And the S&P 500 is on track for its best month since 1974. And a lot of people say the S&P is really the best gauge of the economy when it comes to the market. Now, initially, the estimate from the Department of Commerce shows the country's GDP down 4.8% in the first quarter. It's the steepest decline since the Great Recession, which ended in 2009. The Congressional Budget Office estimated second quarter GDP was actually going to be down by as much as 40%, making it the worst quarter since 1947. Consumer spending, which drives around 2/3 of the economy, has also plummeted as well. And personal income is also down 2% for the month of March. Did you guys get all that? Not great info, but let's bring in our financial panel of experts to talk more about this. First, we have the president of Wilsey Asset Management, Brent Wilsey's back with us. Also, the vice president of Vision 4 Fund Distributors, Heather Zumaraga, is back with us again. Brent, Heather, great to see you both again. What do you believe? I mean, there's a lot of mixed messages, Heather, I guess, in this story. I mean, on one hand, you have record unemployment. On the other hand, you have the stock market having its best month since 1974. Is it the same story? Is this a tale of two economies? What's going on?
Well, the stock market tends to lead the economy. When we were coming out of the recession in 2008, for example, before unemployment claims peaked, the stock market was actually rallying. And so perhaps we saw unemployment claims peak a few weeks ago at 6 million per week. We saw another 3 million plus unemployed today, which is just heartbreaking. But with unemployment now close to 30 million Americans and the stock market doing fairly well, about 15% from the all-time highs, it's telling me that investors in the market believe that we're going to reopen the economy 4 to 6 weeks from now, because as we all know, the market is forward looking. So that's what they're optimistic about.
Brent, are you as optimistic as the market is?
Yes, I am. And actually, what I kind of look at, too, is that not only does the market know that things will get better, but they know, too, about all this money that consumers are getting now. I mean, I talked to somebody yesterday. He's getting $1,000 a week unemployment. Wow. His wife is working. I know many dual couples working, making money. And the problem is they have no place to spend the money. Mm-hmm. As soon as we get our governors to open up these states, and there's some that are gung-ho, like I know Texas opens, I believe, tomorrow, California, we got some problems here. But when they do that, you're going to see this rush of money coming in. And that, I believe, is what the market's seeing, is that things are not as bad as we think they are. This is not a normal unemployment. The numbers are high, but it's not normal unemployment.
I was talking to one of my friends last night, and he just said, I just can't wait to go to a bar and have a beer. Even if we have to sit 6 seats apart, you know, it's just that appetite is still out there. I know a lot of folks are struggling right now, but we do see more indication of a V-shaped recovery as opposed to that U-shaped recovery. And I want to have a quick question for you guys. We got about a minute left here. You know, we see a lot of reporting now on some of these pharmaceutical stocks, like we were talking about Remdesivir for one, but you see these pharmaceutical companies' stock prices spike, and that's enticing to a lot of investors out there. Heather, what's your advice on pharmaceuticals?
I would be very careful. Well, the stocks tend to go up very quickly on the news, or people are hoarding the drug supplies as well. So Remdesivir was a very, looks like positive, perhaps news that we're getting from Gilead. But maybe Brent's a stock picker. I'll let him address if he's buying any of these big pharma names or not.
Brent?
Actually, Heather, we're not, because a lot of them are very pricey, and I'm glad to see the news they're coming out with, but it's not the place to invest. You want to invest in companies that are beaten down. We are a value investing shop, so drug companies, glad to see what they're doing, but investment goes, that's not the place to be investing now.
Yeah. Always check with your experts, people who know what they're talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about, but that's what we have Brent on and Heather to give us some insight. All right, great to see you guys. Thanks so much.